Hi guys, this is Omer from MMOHut.com, and I'm doing another quick weekly recap of MMO news and announcements for the week ending November 14th. Now, as you can see from the video playing in the background, the first piece of news that we're going to take a look at is that Gamers First buys the rights to APB, also called All Points Bulletin. Now, in case you haven't heard of APB, it used to be a pay-to-play MMOHPS that's been around for a short while, but it's shut down. Now, the game cost some $50 million to develop, and it shut down 2 months after its release on June 29th, 2010. Luckily, Gamers First came up to soup up the game. They bought all the rights to the game and will most likely be relaunching the game sometime in early 2011 or late 2010. Now, keep in mind though, no release date has been specified. Early 2011 is just a speculation. Now, graphically speaking, the game does look awesome, and a lot of people that did play the game really liked it, except it was filled with bugs and it really wasn't worth the monthly fee. So hopefully the game will be more awesome as a free-to-play title. I would actually love to see the game succeed as F2P, and hopefully other pay-to-play games will also re-release as F2P. Now, I've actually never played APB myself, but this video looks awesome. These cars driving on top of these boxes, doing some crazy stunts. It's so unrealistic, but it looks really cool. Next up, after this cheesy transition, Craft of Gods announced they will be adding new daily quests to their game. Actually, I think it's the first daily quest they're adding. But the daily quest will basically give you an option to get free Kun in the game, which is the game's premium currency. So it's a neat little way to get cash out points in the game without actually paying for it. Now, if you see from the video in the background, you can see this is from that first look video too. It's my character fighting a cow, and the cow has no attack animations, so it's shooting mind bullets at my character or something. It has no attack animations. But the game used to be a pay-to-play MMORPG and eventually relaunched as a free-to-play game. Now, it's always good to see a game get its updates, and it's not really a big update, but it's worth mentioning. Up next, on November 10th, Land of Chaos Online adds a new challenge mode. Now, the new challenge mode in Land of Chaos Online is basically a coliseum where players can work together to fight off waves and waves of enemies. Now, Land of Chaos Online is a lobby-based game and plays a lot like League of Legends / Dota, but with more action elements. So the coliseum in the game adds some interesting cooperative PvE elements to the game. Next up, on November 10th, Quest Online announced that they will be adding PvP to Elganon. This game used to be pay-to-play, but now it's free-to-play. Why on earth the game didn't even launch with PvP is beyond me. The game launched late 2009, but they didn't have any PvP up until now, which is pretty ridiculous. Players can expect World PvP as well as dueling to be added to the game this week, with Town Control PvP being added early next year. The next bit of news is that on November 10th, Area Games announced that they will be launching Dynasty Warriors Online. Now, the game exited open beta as well as received a major patch which added a bunch of new weapons to the game, new maps, new quests, new market items, as well as guild functions. Now, if you like the Dynasty Warrior games on the console, Dynasty Warriors Online is probably well worth checking out for you. The next piece of news that we received on November 10th is that IGG will be launching Dreamland Online into alpha testing. Now, the alpha test is supposed to be really limited. Now, Dreamland Online was originally announced quite a while ago, but it's been stalled for a while. But now the game is finally entering alpha testing, which means closed beta will follow afterwards, and then eventually open beta. Now, you can see from the video the graphics are not that special, but the game is a side-scrolling MMORPG that's supposed to play like Soul Master and Dragon Saga, except with slightly worse graphics. Now, the game was actually developed by IGG as well, and it's already been available in China for a while. Why there are two llamas kissing, I don't know. And why there's these random animals running by with a dino with a baseball cap, again, I don't know. This is a Chinese trailer for the game though. Next up, on November 10th, Cardamon Hero began its closed beta testing phase. Now, Cardamon Hero is being published by T3 Font, and it's the exact same game as Kamen Hero from Euphoria, which never actually came out. Now, you can see the Kamen Hero logo on the top right, but it's the same game as Cardamon Hero. So the game is in closed beta, and the closed beta will run until November 16th. And it's a card summoning / battling action MMORPG-ish. Now, there's a lot of variety in the game too, it's sort of neat. And if you need beta keys for the game, you can get them on MMOHut.com/giveaways. And yes, this is a very low quality video because they never put out any official trailers, and this is the best quality one I could find. Up next, on November 11th, Frogster previewed the new update for Runes of Magic, patch 3.06, which will be adding Kawak's Tomb to the game, which will basically introduce a new region known as Limo Desert, which will feature a new instance. Now, it's not a major update, but it's yet another little update which makes Runes of Magic feel more like a complete, full MMORPG. Just adds a little more content and keeps things interesting. Now, I know this trailer is actually quite old. It's actually one of the first trailers for Runes of Magic, but Frogster has not released a special video for Kawak's Tomb, so I'm just using this random trailer. Next up, between November 11th and November 30th, Alliance of Valiant Arms will be holding events to celebrate its first year anniversary. So the game is 1 year old now, which is pretty cool. Players who log in and get at least 1 kill in 10 days between November 11th and November 30th will receive free weapons in-game. Plus, they will be entered to win new gaming gear and all sorts of other good stuff. Now, IG actually released some pretty cool statistics. More than 2 million hours of war is waged daily on the game, more than 300,000 matches played per day, more than 7.3 million people are killed per day on ABA, with nearly 1 million skulls shattered by headshots per day. Up next, guys, is that Area Games signed a licensing agreement to publish Lime Odyssey Online, or just Lime Odyssey, in North America and Europe. Now, the game is supposed to be developed by many of the staff behind Ragnarok Online, and some of the guys that worked on Ragnarok Online too. Now, the game isn't even out in Korea yet, so it may be quite a while before it actually releases. But when it does, it will be available on Area Games. The next and last piece of news is actually a bit of a sad one. As of November 12th, 2010, Warrior Epic is shutting down on the AG service. Now, I thought for a minute you could play on WarriorEpic.com, but you can't because it's been shut down for a while over there. Now, it's not officially shut down over there, but you can access the forums, but it's been labeled under maintenance for over a week now. The game was really never that popular, so I'm not surprised it shut down. For games coming soon, we have one game to look at, and that's War of Angels, which begins its open beta on November 23rd. This is the NeoWiz version of the game which I'm talking about, which is the global version. If you're in EU, you have to play on GameAgo. If you're anywhere else, you play on the NeoWiz version. Now, before the open beta begins, all closed beta characters will be wiped, but there will be no further wipes once open beta begins. That's it for games coming soon. I know, only one game. But now for games that just recently launched, we have Genesis AD, which actually launched into open beta on November 8th. So the game is basically fully released, and it's a pretty cool sci-fi theme MMO FPS. Well, guys, that's it for MMO news and announcements for the week ending November 14th. Now, if you want to read about any of the news or announcements that I mentioned, head on over to MMOHut.com/news. Anyway, guys, this is Omer, signing off.